Last Wednesday during exam break, we played Loyola of Illinois, Loyola of New Orleans. They have a very good basketball team, most athletic team they've had in a while. They've had some good wins. They played us well, and we weren't as crisp as we needed to be in the middle of exams, which is somewhat understandable. We did lose focus a couple times, but we're able to have a large lead going in the last few minutes of the basketball game and pick up another win. Jakeem Gant had another double-double, did a great job on the glass, as well as Justin Miller with a double-double. And then Marcus Stroman improved his floor game from the previous games at home and did a real nice job there with, I believe, 11 assists, maybe 3 turnovers, 3 steals, and a dislocated finger at the same time that happened in the first half. So good win for our guys. We finished up exams and had a couple days off, some individual player development days, academic days, and now we're back to preparing for Prairie View, a team that finished second in the SWAC last year. They had their best record since 09-10, and this year Blue Ribbon Magazine, which I put a lot of stock in, picked them to win the SWAC. So they've got a really nice team. Their coach does a good job. He's been there a couple years and got his culture and his players in place, and they've started off with a typical SWAC schedule where they've played all their games on the road, and they won the opener at Santa Clara, I think, by 17, played well, and have played well since and been in almost every game late in the game in most cases. So they've got a couple of really good guards that'll be a handful. They've got an inside player that's a really good player, and it'll be a tough game for us.
Open up for questions.
So this will be the 10th game. You feel like you have a good feeling, got a good grip on this team, what you're looking for, what you need to work on, what you're good at?
With our team?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're getting better. We're certainly trying to get consistent. We haven't played our best basketball, and I'd be concerned if we were. But we're continuing to get a little bit better and putting the pieces together. I think our rotation is going to tighten up, and we'll have some really good workouts here this next week, and then we'll come back from Christmas to prepare for conference.
And then, is it Gladney? He was playing, right?
He played a few minutes the other night.
Yeah.
Picked
Which
up,
he just cleared earlier in the week.
picked up a couple fouls in the first minute that he played. You could tell he's a little rusty. No, he was cleared actually the week of the UNO game.
Do you do it by plan or by design? Or I should say, how do you do it by plan or design to have them peaking at the right time?
Well, you always want to play as well as you can every time you take the court, and you want to be fundamentally sound. But our teams have had a lot of success late in the year, and but you have to play well early in the year if you're going to have a really good team like we had last year. So we try to play as good as we can each game. We stay on them. Starting actually now that school's out, I'm certainly going to hold them a little bit more accountable to some things, and as far as their play on the court. So hopefully we can have some good things happen tomorrow night. We'll probably have some growing pains, but I think it'll help us for the rest of the non-conference and our conference season so we can play our best at the end of the year.
Is that finger going to impact Stroman at all? Or no?
No. He played the second half with it. I mean, it hurt. You probably heard him when he walked off the floor. He was in some pain, and but he's a tough young man. He played through it.
Cedric, okay. I mean, he at the same time, didn't he?
Yeah, he didn't start the second half, but that was more because Jeremy Hayes was playing well and gave us a little punch in the first half, and Cedric came back in the game and played. He's fine.
How much fun is the La Tech rivalry?
It's a good rivalry. Certainly one that we've enjoyed. I'm glad that they agreed to play us, and we were able to reestablish that. A few years ago, Mike White, now the current coach at Florida and a friend, started that rivalry, and Eric Conkle has picked up on it. So it's our longest in-state rivalry, and certainly one that our fans and our teams look forward to playing.
I know you mentioned the magazine naming Prairie View as the team that's projected to win the SWAC. Is there one thing going against a team like that you feel like you'd be looking for your team to improve or something for them to work on against them?
No, just everything. They'll play a little bit different. They'll probably play slower to a degree. They're good defensively. They'll change defenses, and they have good guards. You're going to penetrate. We're going to have to sit down and guard the basketball and keep it in front of us from 1 through 5. But all the preparation helps for conference play because you'll see a little bit of everything that you see in non-conference.
Have you ever play all your non-conferences on the road?
Not that many. I mean, 6 out of 7 for us away from home to start was the longest in a long time, and we're fortunate to survive that and come out 1-2 early with 2 games against top 10 ranked teams that I assume have moved up today. I haven't seen the poll.
Tennessee jumped Gonzaga, so.
Okay, anything else?
How much does playing those guys early in the season, I mean, guys like Tennessee, help you as far as sort of seeing, probably the best you're gonna see right up front?
Well, Tennessee played really well against us. I thought it was one of their best games. And then Kansas did not have a great game against us, and they've struggled a little bit since. And, of course, they lost Azubuike. They didn't have him the other night at the Sprint Center against New Mexico State and won a close game that could have gone the other way. Vic has been coming off the bench for him as well. A guy that was on fire when we played him and made 8 consecutive three-point field goals. So, but it was helpful to play those teams. I was recruiting this weekend, and every coach and media person I talked to brought up the fact that they saw us play Kansas and knew that we'd played Tennessee well. So I think it certainly helps you. When you play those type teams, Dan, you're going to get exposed. We talked about that earlier. And hopefully we helped those 2 teams. I'm sure we did. I know we helped Kansas. But as far as Tennessee, hopefully, we did some things that they needed to clean up and that they'll see in their league play. And they certainly, exposed us in a few areas, and we played a little bit better the following Friday at Lawrence.
Have you been pleased with Malik Marquette's development so far in 10 games and the role that you kind of designed for him this year?
He's done a good job defensively, really been encouraged by that. He's been inconsistent on the offensive end. I'd like to see him score the ball more and be more aggressive. He settles for a shot too quick. He'll take a jump shot when he can get to the basket. He's a very good one-on-one player, one of the best that we have. And I'd like to see him get to the basket more, but really done a great job for us defensively. And he's rebounding the ball pretty well, too.